The Gulf of Alaska, a place where a calm surface is just a lie until something massive starts pulling back. 300 feet down in the freezing black, the line screams. It's tight enough to snap. You don't know what's on the other end. All you know is the boat is starting to shake. Farmers call them barn doors, hell's gatekeepers. They sit at the bottom for decades, just waiting for someone brave enough to pull. The Pacific halibut, a creature as flat as a tombstone, but packed with 400 pounds of raw muscle. It doesn't hunt with speed. It hunts with cold, deep-sea patience. 30 years of sitting in the mud, blending into the dark so well that sonar misses it. But the second it's hooked, the ocean explodes. One tail flick can shatter a leg or launch a man off the deck. For these sea farmers, this isn't a catch. It's a heavyweight title fight. Then you bring it into the light, and things get weird. This bottom-dwelling monster turns out to have meat that's pure ivory, soft, sweet, pristine. It's the ultimate ingredient for the world's most expensive kitchens.
Die as well. You know what? That is on a very, very expensive.
Two, welcome aboard.
But here's the real question. What's scarier? A monster that's lived in the dark for 30 years? Or the fact that humans will risk everything just for one bite? Now the art begins. Carbon steel blade, scalpel sharp, gliding through the skin. This isn't just butchery, this is fletching. The ultimate breakdown. 4 blocks of snow-white meat, 40 pounds each. No pin bones, 0 waste. pure precision. Look at the cheek meat, the hardest working muscle, soft, pricey, an ocean diamond, liquid gold for the elite. .400 degrees, golden crust, juicy inside. It doesn't flake, it's firm. A veal steak from the sea, $100 a plate, a whole day's wages. A 1,000-mile journey from the ice to the table. Life traded for death. The abyss always collects its debt. Deep under the reef, total darkness, where the light dies, two glowing eyes, waiting, no rush, no chase, just an open mouth and total destruction. A nightmare from the Mesozoic era. 6 feet of mottled gray muscle, coiled in the ice. They call it the Wolf Eel, the guillotine of the North Pacific. In Alaska and British Columbia, fishermen say that pulling a fish up from reefs nearly 200 feet down isn't fishing. It's dragging something alive out of the abyss, but more like pulling a live trap out of the abyss. Don't let the lifeless corpse fool you. In North Pacific fishing ports, fishermen whisper a warning to each other. Wolf eels don't die when they stop breathing. The ocean doesn't talk, and the weak, they get chewed up. That's why when these things come up, everyone holds their breath. When sunrise, something starts cutting through the black water. The cable is screaming, howling in the Florida wind. The surface is quiet. Then it explodes. A silver streak faster than a blink, too fast for the human eye. Hawaiians call it ono. The world calls it something scarier, Wahoo. The ocean's living bullet, 60 miles per hour. Angler Dan McGarry was fishing off the coast of Kona and thought he'd just hooked a small marlin. But when the creature lunged up close to the side of the boat, everyone was stunned. It wasn't a marlin. It was a giant 190-pound wahoo, a living torpedo over 8 feet long, nearly pulling all the line off the reel. To this day, it remains the most terrifying speed legend in Hawaiian fishing. Its body is covered in neon blue stripes. Underwater, they glow like alien signals. But the second it dies, the magic vanishes. It turns to cold silver. The ocean doesn't need monsters to be deadly. Sometimes it just needs something perfect, moving faster than your fear. The Southern Ocean, Australia, 1,000 feet deep, crushing pressure, no sound, no oxygen, just the cold. But something is growing down here. Tyrants, armored, deep red, the Tasmanian King Crab, 30 pounds of biological hardware, a living tank. It's ruled the seafloor for 3 decades. Off the coast of Tasmania, 40-pounders started appearing in rare deep-sea dives. Back then, a live one went for $5,000 just to keep it whole, the price of a gold Rolex. No one guessed this deep-sea monster would become white gold, more expensive than a 5 Wahoo in Las Vegas. But to pull it from the dark, farmers gamble with rogue waves and a sea that has zero mercy. The holy grail of the abyss, the Opah, a 600-pound disc with the colors of a sunset. Catching an Opah is like hitting the lottery. They don't travel in schools, they hunt alone, like ghosts.
How's the Opah dance go down?
It flaps those massive pectoral fins to heat its body and brain. A super predator, a mammal hiding under fish scales, 1,000 feet down in the freezing dark. You're looking at one of the only fish on Earth that actually knows how to solve physics equations. In the calm flats of the Seychelles, The giant trevally doesn't just hunt underwater. They keep their eyes locked on the sky, calculating the flight path of terns to launch a killer strike right out of the air. These monsters can hit a record weight of 176 pounds, with a head as hard as a rock for smashing through coral reefs while chasing prey. Imagine a mobile block of muscle charging at 37 miles per hour, about the same as the speed limit on a city street. That's why they're called the thugs of the Indian Ocean reefs. But to take down a predator this proud, the veteran fisherman in Hawaii has to gear up for a real war. Below the surface, freedivers silently stalk the coral reef, where a single misstep or breathless breath could end the hunt instantly. With only a heartbeat and a few seconds of air left, they face the ocean giants at close range. Meanwhile, anglers are playing a sport where one mistake can cost you more than just your pride. The second a giant hits the bait, the reel screams like an air raid siren. That 130-pound test-braided line is stretched tight as a piano wire under the 1,000-pound force of an ocean monster. This isn't just fishing. This is a closely contested duel that could last for hours. You're bracing against bone-crushing headshakes that could yank a grown man into the abyss at any second. Amidst the roaring waves, 1 second of hesitation during a violent thrash can snap a $1,500 rod clean in half. Or worse, leave you empty-handed after hours of waiting.
God. He's really heavy. Gonna have to go old school on him.
Simultaneously on the shoreline, fighting the surf and the wind, every step for these anglers is a brutal tug of war. Finally, a perfect giant trevally breaks the surface. But this victory is just the starting point for turning it into a true masterpiece. First, you've got to trim away that rough armor-like skin.
Alhamdulillah kata. Di bayang tubuh kan yang beli. Di bayang tubuh. Yang polimong yang ada apa?
Holding a Japanese daba knife, Akio began to make forceful cuts, creating a crack thump sound that pierced straight through the hard wooden chest.
Banjir. Cium kan? Herbe kan? Oke. Waktu 6 demam. Waktu mau dulu. Awak cium kap herbe. Mendon-don hat lah gitu. Mau tu mana lagi? Mendon hat lah. Mendon jadi lagi. Ada mendon.
Move with years of practice, gliding to pull away long fillets and carefully removing every bit of the dark bloodline. That's where all the fishy, ocean funk hides. Meticulously picks out every single pin bone. Each block of meat is cut square and clean.